tall on your feet. Later make up the difference. Toss and turn in your sleep. Family, I know you miss them. Tripped and rock from the streets. Starting to get the picture. Fight for your life to feed. Watch how you turn out winning. This shit just easy me. I pray to God.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Godly Potential YouTube channel. Alright, in this video, it's me pretty much showing my quarantine workout. But I'm not just going to talk about the workout. I'm also going to talk about something else that I feel like can be beneficial, because it's very beneficial to me just having this insight. But first, let me just talk about the workout really quick. So, I'm at the park, as you can see, and I'm using resistance bands because when this thing first kicked off, I was using the excuse of I can't work out, I don't have a gym to go to, I don't have any weights at home, I don't really like to run like that, yada yada yada. So I bought a resistance band and I took it to the park. So here I just bought a resistance band from the Walmart, and I wrapped it around a pole. I did some back, some lats or whatnot, some bent over rows. Here I'm doing some bicep curls. I did about 3 to 4 sets from like 10 to 15 reps each of everything, right? So I did, like I said, bicep curls, I did some shoulder presses, I did some push-ups with the resistance band. Yeah, and I believe that's it. But anyway, enough of that. I mean, if you want to get a workout in, just go get a resistance band, go to the park, and you can try these things out. But anyway, the reason why I want to talk about this, or the reason why I actually got inspired to start working out, is because I was getting fat, straight up. Like, I was letting myself go. I mean, not only was it because of the quarantine, but ever since I came back to the States, it's been challenging, you can say, because I came back for a funeral. Those of you who don't know, a funeral, my older brother, he passed away, so I came back for that funeral. And this was March 1st through March 14th. Yeah, that's when I came back from work. But I decided to stay here. And so from March 1st up until now, or a few days ago, I hadn't worked out. That's a long time, especially for me, not to work out. So I hadn't been going, and I really let myself go, because now there's not even a gym to go to, right? And just eating food all day, playing Call of Duty. Now, I say all that to say, we all have this mechanism within us. You can say it's your self-image. Now, I first got this concept from a guy named Ed Mylett on his podcast that he has. And that's when I first heard about this. But basically, we have this mechanism within us, this self-image or something, that you can equate it to, you can use an analogy of, it's analogous to an internal thermostat, right? So what happens when you set a thermostat? Okay, if you set it for the heat to kick on, the heat will go until it's at the desired temperature, and maybe a degree or two above the desired temperature, and it will shut off, right? And this heat will not kick back on until it reach a certain temperature that's lower than the desired temperature, right? Now it's the same thing with this internal mechanism, with this self-image, right? Within you, you're gonna see yourself as being one way. Okay, that's like the standard you have for yourself, your self-image. Now, when you drop below, like you start looking at yourself and you're not agreeing with it, it's not right, it's not the right temperature you have set for yourself, that internal thermostat will kick in and it will boost you back up to the level you need to be. And sometimes you'll go a little ahead of that desired temperature, right? And I wanted to talk about this because that's basically what happened to me. I got to the point where I'm like, okay, well, no, I can't keep doing this anymore. So that, you know, that temperature, that the thermostat kicked in, right, and it set me to the temperature that I want to be at, that my internal or my self-image is set to. Okay. Now this thing can also harm you, because if you have a low temperature, if you have a low self-esteem, if you have a low self-image within you, you will be at a low temperature and it'll drop down to even lower. But it'll kick back in and get you to that state, to that temperature that you were normally operating at, which is already low. But it'll take you up, let's say, 2 degrees higher than your desired, right? Let's say you start hanging around a bunch of people who motivate you, or you find motivation somewhere, right? It boosts you up. Like I said, the things can hinder you, because if you get too high, let's say it gets too hot or it gets too cold or whatever, that thermostat will kick in and it will drop you back down, right? So that might pose a question of, okay, so how do I get that temperature to the temperature that I want it to be? How do I get that my ideal self to match up with that desired temperature? Or how do I get my ideal self to align with the actual way that I see myself, my actual self-image? Okay. What I have discovered is you basically, with that ideal self, you want to hang around in that area. You want to hang around that temperature. You want to do those things that are required of that ideal self. You want to do those things until it becomes you. Some say it takes 21 days to build a habit. I've heard the latest was 40 days. I feel like 40 days is actually a good number. So it takes 40 days to build a habit. Okay, and also here in the video, I did some runs. I just ran down and ran back pretty much 10 times. But anyway, so they say it takes 40 days to build a habit. So what I've discovered is, like the things I'm doing on this video, I want to keep doing these things routinely for at least 40 days to get myself back at that temperature. Or if I want to raise my standard, do these things and it'll keep me at that. So then it'll become a habit. And then my perceived self would actually become closer to my ideal self, right? So you all could do the same thing. If your perceived self is pretty low, if your self-image is low, if that internal temperature is set to a degree that you don't like, you can raise it or put it at the correct temperature, or you can align it with your ideal self by doing those things that the ideal self requires of you for 40 days. Because then it will become a habit. Then it will become a part of your actual self-image, because then you will see yourself as, this is what I do. Okay, it'll be a lot harder. So then, a lot harder to go back, because then the temperature is set at that degree, the thermostat is set at that degree that you want it to be, And even if you do begin to slip, let's say you do begin to overindulge, if it's weight you're thinking of, or if it's becoming more intelligent, if you start reading as much, if you stop meditating as much, if you start drinking more, if you, whatever it is, right? That internal thermostat will kick in, and you will get back to that place where you need to be, or where you want to be, or where you created yourself to resonate at. Okay, so that's the reason why I want to make this video, just talk about that concept, because it can be powerful if utilized. Okay, but yeah, like I said, I went to the park, worked out, did some sprints, or not even sprints, I just ran, because I haven't ran in a while. And while I was doing it, I was thinking of this concept. Okay, it reignited in my mind. I remembered it. So I decided to jump on here and share it. But yeah, that's all I got. If this video was helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Share it if you feel like it can help others. Subscribe if you haven't. If you got any comment suggestions, drop it in the comment section, or email me at mygollypotential@gmail.com. But until next time, I'm out. Peace.
On your feet, later make up the difference. Toss and turn in your sleep. Family, I know you miss it. Shoot and rock from the streets. Starting to get the picture. Fight for your life to feed. Watch how you turn out winning. This shit just easy me. I play the stars.